welcome back to the GSL Up and Downs. YoDa had some PC problems, but it seems everything is sorted out now. We're going into Anaconda, as we talked quite a bit about before. This is a really, really important match for YoDa. He seems to be having some issues today getting himself together mentally, and if he's not able to win this map, I just don't see him winning a single map for the rest of the day, and Flying is not an easy opponent.
No, he's not. Flying is definitely a very tough opponent to face, and they faced each other just recently, and Flying took him out with the 2-0. So that is not really the best feeling to head into this best of one, to know that your opponent just recently took you down with you not even taking a single map, and that map being so important for you right now. So let's find out what exactly he can do. Funny as it is, we don't have YoDa in the lobby just yet, neither Flying for that matter. I think that Flying probably is currently just maybe even playing a practice game, looking at a couple of replays, whatever he's doing. I feel he's going to be there soon. But yeah, YoDa is nowhere to be seen, so I hope that whatever the problems with this PC was, you were able to fix them.
Yeah. I'm just trying to ask in chat when they're not coming into the lobby, but maybe just doing some last-minute verifications down there, making sure all of his settings are good in like a custom game or something. Because you never want to play with any of your settings wrong, or you get your hotkeys correct and everything before you get into a game. It could be the most frustrating thing ever. You go into a game and you realize that one of the hotkeys that you use that's really ideal for you, no matter what it is, you don't have it set properly, or your mouse is going a little bit too fast, and then you're trying to micro your Marines and you can't do it.
I actually would even like to know if YoDa was playing at the same PC that he played at in the first game, because we have set up here that we have like 4 rooms, and YoDa played the 3rd game, so that would only make sense if you would play at the same PC again and then later on switch it out. But that's why I'm a little bit confused that he has actually problems with his PC in the first place, because it worked fine in the game number 1.
Yeah, it was weird because whatever he was doing was underneath the booth, which leads me to believe personally that it's a hardware issue, one of his hardwares, because he was going like this, grabbing something, like maybe his mouse, trying to plug it in and plug it in again, see if that would have helped. So we're just going to have to wait a little bit longer here. Do you think YoDa can do it on Anaconda? I actually am worried for him.
After the first game, it depends on his mindset. If he came out of the booth and his coach or whoever sat him down and talked to him and was like, dude, first of all, you still had a chance there, so don't leave games that early. Like, you might not have been in the best position and you might not have had a clear advantage, but you definitely were in a spot where you could have won that, especially with the mistakes that your opponent was making during the entire game. So if someone really talked to him and gave him a little bit more confidence, I definitely feel he can take it.
Yeah.
But if we see the same mindset that he showed us in game number 1 at the end, then I feel he has no chance in this group today. Up and downs are so taxing to a player, and you have to be mentally completely so strong to make this happen.
Yeah, you have to be super solid here.
Every map just matters. So if YoDa doesn't have that today, I don't see him winning.
I just got an update that we may actually skip this set and go to the 4th set because the other 2 players are ready.
Yep.
And the PC that's being changed here, I think it is actually changing the PC.
I would like that. I have no idea what's wrong with YoDa's PC here. It's odd because that kind of confirmed that he's playing at the same PC where he played his first game, and that went well. So no idea what exactly is going on, but I would really love us to just go into the other game because apparently something is really wrong.
Yeah, because the order of the matches doesn't actually matter at all just yet, since we're so early in the group. So it'd be easy to just switch the order. And that's what I was told in the game chat here, so probably what's going to happen. But just talking about this match a little bit more in case that we do have it, Flying is a player who's known for his unique style, his ability to do all-ins that nobody else can seem to make work, and the builds that you wouldn't expect. He hides a lot of gateways. He'll add more gateways than anything are possible on 3 bases and go for an attack like that. He'll do a weird Phoenix build. He's somebody that you have to really play safe against and play reactionary against, and YoDa is a player who has done that in the past. He usually just sits back, macros up, and then gets his drop play going. And first of all, he's got to drop into this lobby here and get the game started. But if he plays greedy, which a lot of Terrans are baited to do on this map because it's a really, really easy to take backdoor expansion, you might see him try to take a fast 3rd, he could fall to some weird Flying build.
What we have right now, we got another shot of YoDa currently being in the booth together with the admin and also, of course, the technical staff of GOM trying to find out what exactly is going on here. We have no updates. I have no idea if we're going into the set. The next set would be Songdery versus Super. So that would be the second Protoss versus Zerg that Super has to play. And Songdery as Savage, both of them are currently 1-0 in the group. So that leaves him with a very good spot. to at least take the lead for now and maybe both of them to get out. But yeah, that would be the other set that we have usually scheduled to be the 4th set of the day, so we might actually just prepone that and play YoDa versus Flying a little bit later than that. Because from what I've seen on the camera here, we still have some issues with YoDa's PC. It might just have been a last confirmation that everything is alright, but that didn't really look like it.
Yeah. So, you know, if they do go into the 4th set, the players have already switched out because of what they're preparing anyways, so it should be easy enough to do as long as Savage gets his settings ready, and that's what they're saying in chat right now. Because Savage didn't have the settings set up just yet, since he had to switch PCs. Now he's setting those up right now. So I guess it's a race. If YoDa fixes his issues before Savage gets his settings set up, then maybe we'll go into this one first. Otherwise,
the winner gets a cookie.
Yeah, the winner gets a cookie.
We have a couple of nice cafes around where you can actually buy a couple of decent cookies.
There are good cookies around here. Yeah, for sure.
But not today. I feel you don't want to chase anyone out today. Like
the rain today,
guys. We were sitting at the cafe, and it's 12 o'clock in Korea. Okay, it's like really like at the end it was like 1 p.m. and it looked outside as if it was like 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. Like it was dark, pitch dark, pitch black.
I'm going outside. I'm going up the subway exit. Like it was pretty bright when I left my house, but I saw off in the distance. So I made that tweet earlier. I was like, I feel like this storm could blow me to Oz. Like I come out of the subway and I'm like,
I did the same thing.
I'm like, is it 10 p.m. or?
I was sitting at the cafe waiting for Wolf, and I just looked outside, and I'm like, what time?
And it wasn't raining either. It wasn't raining at that time when I was walking out. It was just black, and I was like,
exactly.
I look outside. Everybody outside is looking up too. Like, what is going on up there?
Like, am I still jet lagged? I thought we have a 1 p.m. cast today. We don't have a 6 p.m. cast, but it looks like really dark outside. So we sit in the cafe, and then suddenly, like 2 minutes before we left, 3 minutes. Suddenly there was a massive lightning, thunder rolling across Seoul, and then the floodgates opened, and suddenly that wasn't even rain. That was just the ocean falling down. It was insanity.
Somebody took the Pacific Ocean in a bucket and poured it on our heads.
Yeah, thank God we have a very, very short way to the studio, so all we had to do was just run and huddle between my umbrella.
Well, I didn't have an umbrella today, but I was like, maybe it'll work out. Yeah. Not with that storm.
I actually brought the big umbrella today. If you're in Seoul, the first thing that you realize is that you have at least 3 umbrellas to 5. Like, first of all, you have different sizes, and because everything is so cheap here, especially umbrellas, you will be caught out in the rain eventually, and then you just go to one of those small convenience stores and you get another umbrella. So usually at home, they're all lined up. And today I just looked at them and was like, small one? Nah. Could go for the middle one. Was like, looking outside, I should probably take the big one with me. It was a good choice.
Yeah, it was a good choice. You know, the funny thing is nobody really steals in Korea. It's like a very safe country, but umbrellas are the one thing people will steal.
Exactly.
So you will get your umbrellas stolen from time to time. You know, I've accidentally taken other people's umbrellas because everyone's umbrellas look like the same, and I've like walked away and been like, this isn't my umbrella, but I hope that person takes my umbrella and thinks it's theirs and it's all okay. Like,
it's actually hilarious. There are so many GS25 and 7-Elevens, and they all sell kind of the same brands of umbrella. So you have like 4 or 5 different brands, unless you go for a little bit more of a fancy one. So everywhere you go, you will see the same umbrellas that you have too. And at some point, you just walk around and you're like, oh yeah, that's mine. You take it, and then at home you realize that your umbrella is still at home.
You're like, wait a minute, I never had this crack on my umbrella. Like, this isn't mine. Where's mine? Somebody else is going to take mine.
So that happens like all the time here. But as it is today, we got a little bit lucky. But I really hope that the rain has stopped by the time that we are done. Flying entered the lobby. Just on a side note, coming back to Starcraft and talking about that a little bit.
YoDa was invited, but he declined.
I dropped my pen again. Why does that always happen to me?
I don't know. I always drop my keyboard. But
I don't even know where it is this time.
I have this bridge that my keyboard sits on that's very, very narrow, and so if I make a wrong move and something, you guys see me go like this, I probably drop my keyboard and I have to pick it up and put it back to where it was. YoDa's still not in the lobby, but
while we're waiting for that, you can use the chance to jump on Twitter and at the two of us, at ProxyWolf and myself at Calder. Let us know what you think is wrong with YoDa's PC, because I'm really interested right now. Did he just take a battle axe and just chop it down after the last match and was like, I'm so angry, I need to destroy something? Let us know. Send us a tweet at ProxyWolf and at Calder. We can actually monitor that while we are still waiting for them to jump in here, because there's just nothing else happening right now.
He's in? And he says he's ready?
Oh my God, what happened?
Well, actually, he didn't say he was ready. The other player said he was ready. He says GG. All right, the countdown is started. We're going. It's starting for real here on Anaconda. All problems resolved, hopefully. Fingers crossed, toes crossed.
Yeah, quick shout out here to the first tweet that we got. Menace watching GSL with a baby while his wife and Mama watching The Bachelor. You definitely made the right choice.
You made the right choice.
You made the right choice, and I really like that you're already training your kid to be a pro gamer, future pro gamer. So in a few years, we will have him or her compete at the GSL, I guess. But right now we're jumping into the game ourselves. We have now our first Terran versus Protoss, Flying versus YoDa, the GSL up and downs. Colin Wolf. And starting to the top left, we have the Terran player for LGIM, down 1 game in this group today already. It is
LGIM YoDa.
Feels like his life is on the line with this game.
Yeah, it certainly does. And YoDa's opponent in his first game today in this up and down group is the Protoss player in blue to the bottom right.
Wongjin Stars Fly.
He's flying like a warp prism that's going to drop 4 sentries in your base, force shield you out at the ramp, and then warp in with 6 gateways and kill you. That's what flying means. If you ever wonder where his ID came from. Super dangerous player.
He definitely is. And as we said before, Flying just recently, roughly 2 weeks back, was able to take down YoDa with a 2-0. So that was not really the result that YoDa wanted to achieve against his opponent, and it's already a little bit of an indicator who's going to potentially be the aggressor in this series. Flying definitely decent in this matchup. He has 13 maps played, and he won 54 of them. Not the best result if you think about it, but then you go down his match history, and the last matches that he played, he won every single one of them. The last 3 best of 3 all ended in his favor against Journey, Young, and YoDa with a 2-0, didn't drop a single map there. He even won against Innovation. So Flying definitely playing against some of the best Terrans in the entire world, and him having a positive record leaves us with a very decent Protoss versus Terran play.
Yeah. Definitely so. Look at what we see from YoDa, though. He's going for gas here. I'll be so excited to see him go for a Reaper opening right now to scout what Flying is doing, and he does exactly that. This is the kind of build you want to do against Flying. Flying, on the other hand, only 1 gas at home, which is a little bit weird.
Reaper into expand is something that we see quite often in this matchup. YoDa is a player who has a little bit of bad luck recently against Protoss. I mentioned the loss against Flying with the 0-2 a bit earlier. He also lost against Super, who is later going to face in this group as well. So if you think about that, it's actually quite unfortunate for him that he is in the up and downs facing 2 of those opponents that he also recently just lost to. But in general, he's a decent Terran vs. Protoss player. 22 maps played, 12 won, 10 lost, leaves him with 55% win ratio. So if you just look at the statistics, they are kind of on eye level here.
Yeah.
It's all about the confidence that you have, how comfortable you are in this position, and if YoDa can keep it together now.
YoDa mined just enough gas to get that reactor, pulled most of his SCVs out of the refineries to get a faster command, so he's making that on the outside low ground. And already, we've seen an indication from Flying that he wants to take that backdoor expansion and turtle up a little bit here as he is killing these destructible debris, or the collapsible rock tower, I should say, so he can wall off that ramp. And this is something that YoDa has scouted several times, and he's not really too concerned because he knows that he can still go in and scout with his Reaper even if the rocks are down. He's getting a fast eBay at home. This is going to be, of course, for a +1 timing attack.
Yeah, that's a super fast eBay that is actually building. That's one of the fastest that I've seen in quite a while. The Reaper is still like just hugging the cliff here and trying to find an opportunity to jump in, but already Zealot and Mothership Core in position to intercept him. The +1 has been started, and what we do not see yet is a barracks with a tech lab so that he can go for the stim upgrade. But yeah, I'm really interested to see how YoDa is going to use that early upgrade.
Yeah. You know, he needs to add more barracks if he's going to want to commit to this, unless he just wants to try to get the upgrade lead out early, which will be a little bit strange. This Stargate is really, really important because YoDa is most likely going to be scouted with the Oracle. The Oracle may do damage as well, but more importantly, he's going to scout what's going on in the main base. The Mothership Core here totally denied by those Marines. He needs to make sure that nothing sees that eBay if he wants his strategy to succeed, so I really like his positioning on the Marines there.
Yeah, Stargate opening and the Forge. That's what we have for Flying here. And with the tech that he chose, I mean, YoDa is really going up into a lot of fire right now, and he's adding the second gas. I'm not quite sure he's going to utilize that early upgrade lead that he has. But what do you think are we going to see out of flying in regards to the Stargate? Just only the Oracle? Because I personally don't think that at this point in time that's going to do too much anymore.
Well, the Oracle, it's probably not going to do a lot of damage, but it will get some scouting most likely. This is a great scout here by YoDa, speaking of which, we will see the Oracle in production. And that Reaper can actually get it away if he wants to. But, you know, I'm really concerned more about YoDa's build here, because his +1 is going to line up to where he could try to attack with a few unstimmed Marines, but obviously that's not very good. He could just start +1 armor and have a really fast 1-1 and just sit back at home and defend, because obviously he's going to need these Marines at home to defend the Oracle.
Talking about upgrades, we do not see an upgrade for flying out of this forge that he has, and I don't know. I mean, he's getting the Oracle right now, but we already have a missile turret. He's heading into the robotics facility. That should not do too much damage.
Yeah,
I mean, by all means, flying should not be able to do too much against YoDa's defense here.
He just gets some scouting information, I guess, in general, and it's because he was scouted that this does absolutely nothing, but even if he hadn't been scouted, YoDa should be able to defend this. He's going into Phoenixes, and like you said, a little bit odd that he uses his forge so late. He made cannons just to be safe. Flying is actually the one who's playing on the defensive, which is kind of rare. I don't think we're going to see him go into Phoenix Colossi. Most likely, he's just going to try to use the Phoenixes to shut down drops and also pick up some SCBs.
The way that he built it just really looks like he was expecting a Widow Mine drop to happen.
Oh, wow, nice blitz here by YoDa. He almost gets the Oracle, 20 hit points left.
So close, and nice. Revelation being used, that was the best thing that he could go for here. So he gets the Revelation. We have YoDa just with a very, very stable bio build here, going into the +1 armor upgrade now as well. So he's taking that slight lead. Flying is getting his Phoenixes out, and that's something that we see a little bit more against Terran these days. But with the build so far, I really like the position YoDa is at, even getting a third base now.
Yeah, and a hidden third base at that. He's not taking the base that Flying is going to expect, the safe backdoor expansion. So he's taking a few risks here, but considering the opening that he's already scouted from Flying, he knows, okay, you invested a lot into that Oracle that did nothing. You got some scout information, but mostly all you saw was that I'm just sitting at home macroing very well. And I like YoDa's choice, but it is a bit risky, and these Phoenixes may very well see this on their way over. And that could be a problem. Armory going up here. Really nice upgrade timings for YoDa. Just getting that huge upgrade lead. He's going to be at 1-1 when Flying is just at +1 armor, and that's something that very rarely happens in this matchup.
Yeah, the Armory is a tad late, but that's not going to be too much of a problem for him. Really, he only has one engineering bay, if I'm not mistaken,
yeah.
So he should get the second engineering bay out as well, especially since he's now taking the third base. That gives him the economy that he needs to go into double upgrades.
This attack is so strong that he's sitting out across the map.
Yeah, that's true, but it's already spotted. Something to keep in mind here, and we have the first Colossus. He should just be out in time. It has been spotted. Maybe he's able to hit before the Colossus is out, but I do not think that will work out.
Yeah, the Rock's buying him just the last bit of time that he needs here. We'll see another Revelation, so he can see exactly where he wants to move his units to get those medevacs with his Phoenixes. He can actually try to pick those off.
For YoDa, things are fine as long as Flying doesn't take that third base.
Yeah.
Because YoDa already has a third, so he can actually just play this game for now, and he does not have to attack. He can play this safe and sound, just wait for his opponent either to move out and try to hit a timing, trying to defend against it, or until the third base is being dropped, and that's the case right now. The Nexus has been started.
And yet Flying can feel confident to take this Nexus because he has that Colossus. He also has the Observer that shows that YoDa has moved back. He sees YoDa's army move away, he knows it's the moment for him to move down.
But YoDa is getting in a second starport, and he already has his own third up. It is an orbital. He can rely on mules, triple SCV production, getting the +2 attack upgrade. And I still would like to see the second armory, but even without it, with the starport that he has, he can go into the Viking production that he needs against the Colossi, and of course he needs to shut down those Phoenixes at some point.
Yeah, he really does. The Phoenix count is actually going up to 7. So he basically is going Phoenix Colossus here, and now he's going to get 1 SCV, 2 SCVs, not a third just yet.
Yeah, nice, well played so far, and yeah, the Viking is going to put an end to that Oracle.
Yep. Goodbye, Oracle. My shot should do it. Oh, 2 more.
1 hit point left, but yeah, even that hit point didn't take.
And look at this color. He's adding another Stargate. He's really going Phoenix Colossi here. Starts with +1. We could even see Tempest later on, but I doubt it. I think he's really just going to commit to the Phoenix Colossus play.
It's a really cool build if you surprise your opponent. I feel the one thing that he doesn't account for yet is the second starport, because let's just be brutally honest here. Usually we see Terran players delaying that second starport for so long, but YoDa, right off the bat, got that, and now he can head into 4 Vikings at a time, in addition to the Marines that he already has on the ground. So Flying might find himself in a bit of a killer situation here, but YoDa has also not identified that he's up against this many Phoenixes.
Yeah, it's kind of funny how this works out. And that's part of this scan here, but look at that. He doesn't actually see a whole lot. The Phoenixes have been well hidden, and YoDa still doesn't know. In fact, he may even cut down on his Vikings very soon and start making more medevacs because he thinks, okay, yeah, he probably just made 6 or 7 and then he stopped.
Yeah, and look what YoDa is doing. YoDa is getting a Ghost Academy, and that's basically because he expects a transition into the Standard Templar Archive and the High Templars a little bit later down the road. But he does not account for a double Stargate. So with 4 Vikings being built now, it's quite a heavy commitment to the Antier. But still, he kind of... I mean, of course, this is also a bit of a catch-all build. Ghosts are always nice to have in your composition, but I really feel that he thinks there's going to be a Templar switch instead of a double Stargate.
You know, it's because he doesn't know about the double Stargate, and with the double Stargate, you're probably never going to switch to Templar the whole game unless you somehow get like a 4th or 5th base and nobody pressures you, because it's so hard to make that switch when you've committed so much gas to this. He even has +1 attack, something that the Vikings will have soon as well. You know, but he'd actually rather have armor, arguably, against that.
Only Ghosts found so far. He finds the... only Colossi spotted by those scans that he drops here. He doesn't scan the rest. And there's another one, and always only the natural. But you know, so many Colossi, and Flying is not afraid to show them, and that kind of puts YoDa in a position where Vikings are completely worth it.
Fleet Beacon, Caldor. We're going to see some Tempest for sure. Can also allow him to get the +2 attack and also the additional armor upgrades. Another scan here, not so useful. He scans over it to see if there's another base being taken here. But
that's a lot of Vikings.
The Fleet Beacon, you know, I'm not so sure about Tempest right now. With this many Vikings, and he's seen the Vikings several times with his observers. He may just go into +2 for air.
Here we go, 3 base against 3 base, 4th base being taken. That's a lot of resources for YoDa. If he finds out what's going on here, if he is able to utilize his resources to go for the production that he has and utilize this, then things are going to look a little bit grim for Flying. It all comes down, I feel, to the next fight. Who's going to take the huge lead?
Phoenix range is what he wants. Of course, I never think about that in this matchup, but he's getting Phoenix range. Of course, that's what he wanted to have the Fleet Beacon for. That all makes sense to me now. And that's actually going to help him out quite a bit against the Vikings, because otherwise the Vikings can kind of kite when you have this many of them behind a huge Terran army. The Phoenixes are basically just there to say, you can't focus my Colossi, and if you do, then my Phoenixes are going to kill your Vikings too fast.
The thing is, Marines, of course, are great against the Phoenixes that we have, but then Colossi counter the Marines. That's pretty cool.
He's making turrets in the middle of the map. I really, really like this. You know, this actually can help out quite a lot in a fight.
Yeah, 4th base is being built, and here comes the army moving in. He's still hiding those Phoenixes, and the scan does not reveal them. YoDa still doesn't know. He produced a lot of Vikings here, but he doesn't see those Phoenixes, even not with a scan. 3 orbitals are being built, or command centers for now. That base has to be cancelled. 4 bases are up for YoDa. Oh, wow. This is going to get so interesting.
Yeah, right now the Phoenix count is 20 versus 18 Vikings. Zealot run by here is going to force an engagement. How does YoDa respond? He sees them now. He needs to pick off those Colossi. He gets the first volleys with the Phoenixes. They have the range upgrade. EMP does not hit most of them. He misses all the EMPs.
But the Phoenixes are going to town. The problem is that most of those Colossi are already gone, and now the Marines have free reign against the Phoenixes. He's moving in. The Phoenix army for Flying. It's disappearing. 17 are still there. On the other hand, how many Marines do we have left? Only 13 of them.
He
They're
starts to
evaporating one after one. The Phoenixes are taken out, and Flying is going to get a smack in his face. YoDa is going to town at that natural.
That base is crushed. YoDa, this is exactly what he needs in this group. Takes a massive lead here. Flying has a great amount of gateways. He's got a lot of production, but he does not have Storm yet. And his upgrades are not quite where he wants them to be. He starts Void Race for a second, cancels them, starts more Phoenixes. He's desperate here, but YoDa gives him no chance, drops the mules. This is the confidence that YoDa needed.
He had enough Vikings, and he made them work it. GG! YoDa takes the game, and he's back in the group.
Yep, takes himself in a 1-1. Flying, on the other hand, is being his first match played, drops to an 0-1. But what a crazy game, you know. It looked like, to be honest, it looked like Flying just had too many Phoenixes. Maybe he should have tried to add more Colossi instead, use his gas for that instead.
The thought process here is, of course, to take down the Marines with the Colossi and then focus on those Vikings. But the big problem that we really had here is that with all the Vikings that we had in the air, those Colossi were taken down so fast. And at the beginning, he really tried to move them back, and they didn't even attack, and that was his big problem. It looked like he was just caught off guard a bit with an attack, with an aggressive move into the army.
Yeah, he just didn't have a whole lot of Colossi anyways, maybe like only 5, and with that many Vikings, it's
6 in total.
It's just not gonna work out that way. There's no way to kite against that much firepower. Your Colossi are gonna die instantly. Would have been better off to just walk into the Marine army and try to get as many shots as possible before they died.
It was really cool to see that YoDa actually committed to a double starport and to this many Vikings, even though he never really saw that there was a double Stargate for his opponent.
He knew the threat was always there. YoDa would have been in a lot of trouble if it was actually a bunch of Templar he walked into there instead.
Well, that was really, really well done here by YoDa, and he takes the game, and it was an important one at that. If he drops the second match here, then he is in trouble, especially since against early in the game against who did he play first? Not Savage. I think it was it was actually Songuri.
I don't know how to blank there. Speaking of Songuri, he's going to be playing the Zerg versus Zerg now against Savage on Star Station. So a pretty big map for ZVZ. I think we're going to see some late game ZVZ here.
It's actually a really interesting match to play right now because my original schedule showed me something completely different.
Well, it might be also due to the fact that we had some computer problems earlier.
Maybe.
But regardless, here we go. The countdown has started. Star Station, big map. This is the ladder edition of the map, so cross spawns only. And it's gonna be a fiery ZVZ here. Could see anything.
Yeah, and these guys already won their first game, so whoever takes it right now will take a 2-1 lead, 2-0 lead in the group. And the ZVZ is underway. Green Wings Savage versus CJ Ender Songuri on Star Station. Heading into the map right now. Here at the GSL up and downs, trying to find out who will advance to the WCS Premier League today.